Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another podcast where we dive deep into the topics that matter, bringing you the latest insights and stories that shape our world. Today, we're exploring a topic that has sparked intense debate, controversy, and concern for decades: the artificial sweetener aspartame, commonly known by its trade name, NutraSweet. Is it safe? That's the question we're tackling today, and we're going to do it by diving into the fascinating and at times alarming findings presented in the book Aspartame, NutraSweet. Is it safe? By Dr. H.J. Roberts, a seasoned internist with a wealth of experience and a story that demands our attention. Aspartame is a synthetic sweetener that's 180 to 200 times sweeter than table sugar, with virtually no calories. Since its introduction in 1981, it has become a staple in the American diet, finding its way into over 6,000 products, from soft drinks and tabletop sweeteners to puddings, cereals, and even some medications. The appeal is clear. It offers the sweetness we crave without the caloric baggage of sugar, making it a favorite among those seeking to manage their weight or control their blood sugar. But here's where things get interesting and concerning. Despite the widespread acceptance and endorsements from major health organizations, Dr. Roberts presents a compelling case that aspartame may not be as safe as we've been led to believe. In fact, he argues that it could be responsible for a wide range of physical and mental symptoms, many of which are often misdiagnosed or overlooked entirely. Now you might be wondering, how did Dr. Roberts come to this conclusion? Well, it all started with a patient named Tammy, a 16-year-old girl who experienced recurrent seizures that didn't respond to conventional treatment. Dr. Roberts noticed a pattern. Tammy's seizures seemed to be triggered by aspartame-sweetened products. When she avoided aspartame, her seizures stopped. When she was unknowingly challenged with aspartame, the seizures returned. This observation was a light bulb moment for Dr. Roberts, leading him to question the safety of this ubiquitous sweetener. But Tammy's case was just the beginning. As Dr. Roberts began to investigate further, he discovered a pattern among his patients. Many of them reported a variety of symptoms that seemed to be linked to aspartame consumption, including severe headaches, memory loss, dizziness, and even depression. These symptoms often improved when aspartame was avoided and recurred when it was reintroduced. Dr. Roberts' research didn't stop there. He conducted a survey of over 1,000 individuals who believed they were experiencing aspartame-related symptoms. The results were striking. Among the respondents, 61% reported consuming 2 12-ounce cans of aspartame-sweetened soft drinks daily, and 43% used 3 packets of aspartame tabletop sweetener. The symptoms they reported were diverse and concerning, ranging from headaches and seizures to vision problems, memory loss, and severe anxiety. Now you might be thinking, if aspartame is so dangerous, why hasn't the FDA or other regulatory agencies stepped in? That's a valid question, and Dr. Roberts addresses it head-on. He argues that the approval process for aspartame was flawed, with key studies showing potential risks that were either overlooked or dismissed. For instance, he points out that the FDA's own scientists raised concerns about aspartame's safety, citing studies that linked it to brain tumors in animals. Yet, despite these warnings, aspartame was approved for use in soft drinks in 1983. Dr. Roberts also criticizes the reliance on double-blind studies, arguing that they don't always replicate real-world conditions. For example, many studies administer aspartame in capsule form, which may not reflect how people actually consume it in beverages and foods. Additionally, he highlights the fact that aspartame can break down into harmful substances, such as methanol, when exposed to heat or prolonged storage, further complicating the safety picture. The book is filled with personal stories from aspartame reactors, and they are both eye-opening and heartbreaking. One woman, a 35-year-old pilot, experienced convulsions, severe drowsiness, and intense headaches after consuming large amounts of aspartame. Her symptoms disappeared when she stopped using it, only to return when she was inadvertently exposed to aspartame again. Another woman, a 31-year-old secretary, passed out after her diet cola was switched to full-strength aspartame. These stories, and many others, paint a troubling picture of the potential dangers of aspartame. Dr. Roberts delves into the science behind aspartame's effects, explaining how its components, phenylalanine, aspartic acid, and methanol, can impact the body. He argues that the rapid breakdown and absorption of aspartame can lead to an imbalance of neurotransmitters in the brain, potentially triggering seizures, headaches, and other neurological symptoms. He also discusses the possible link between aspartame and metabolic disorders, such as diabetes and hypoglycemia, suggesting that it may interfere with insulin regulation and glucose metabolism. Of course, Dr. Roberts' claims have not gone unchallenged. Critics argue that the evidence linking aspartame to health problems is largely anecdotal, and that the majority of scientific studies have found it to be safe for most people. They point to the extensive testing aspartame has undergone and the endorsements it has received from major health organizations. However, Dr. Roberts counters that many of these studies are flawed, and that the FDA's approval process was influenced by political and economic factors. The ethical implications of aspartame use are also explored in the book. Dr. Roberts raises concerns about the potential risks for vulnerable populations, such as pregnant women, children, and individuals with pre-existing health conditions. He argues that the widespread use of aspartame in food and beverages, often without clear labeling, puts these groups at unnecessary risk. So, where does this leave us? Is aspartame a harmless sweetener or a potential health hazard? The answer, as Dr. Roberts presents it, is not a simple one. While the scientific community remains divided, the stories of aspartame reactors and the concerns raised by Dr. Roberts deserve our attention. As consumers, we must weigh the evidence, consider our own health, and make informed choices about the products we consume. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the complex and controversial world of aspartame. I hope this episode has provided you with valuable insights and sparked your curiosity to learn more. If you have thoughts or experiences related to aspartame, I'd love to hear from you. Drop me a line on social media or visit my website to leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe to the BrightLearn podcast for more thought-provoking content. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed.
Visit brightlearn.ai for more fascinating videos like this one, and naturalnews.com for full editorial coverage and breaking news on critical stories that keep you informed and aware of what's really going on.